Want me to start?
Go ahead.
Okay. Hello, this is Ryan here from Kollage, and I have my fellow Kollage mate, Mr. Chad Noonan.
Hey, everyone.
As we said, we are from Kollage Needles. Um, we purchased the company. We're part of the agency that purchased the company probably about 9 months ago, Chad.
Yeah, I think it was in July or August of last year. Coming up on a year, I guess.
Yeah, so been lots of things going on. Certainly, lots of things have changed around the world around us currently. But we spent a lot of time really kind of getting to understand the product and what people liked about our product. We had great feedback, which kind of helped us make a lot of changes with the product when we launched. Like our packaging, I think, is phenomenal. That was something that we really wanted to work on when we relaunched. So probably around January 1 is when we went live with our private Shopify site for the stores, and it's been going great from that perspective. We're really happy to kind of see the energy that people had for Kollage Needles. That kind of really has helped us kind of forge forward. What are your thoughts on that, Chad?
Yeah, absolutely. And me and you have been doing a lot of connecting with the stores. So we've been calling down our list of almost 350 stores that we've called across North America and the world. And doing those phone calls, we've noticed the store names in the knitting world are certainly interesting, to say the least. We're brand new to this. We have no idea coming into this that we knew it was a creative industry, but we didn't know how far people took it. And definitely the store names is one of the ways people get creative in the knitting world.
Yeah, and that's why we're here today. That led us to this. We saw these names, these fabulous names of stores. We kept chuckling back and forth to each other. We would say, "Hey, did you see that name of that store on our sheet?" So that got us thinking about doing kind of a David Letterman style top 10 list. So that's why we're here today doing this video. Is we're unveiling our top 10 list. So what we actually did was we gave a list, Chad, maybe 20 different store names that we thought were good, and yeah, we had all of our staff vote on them. So this is actually this is definitely been run ethically. It wasn't Chad and I just deciding on names. We had all of our staff vote on them. And this is our chance to unveil our top 10 store names from Kollage Needles. So are you ready, Chad?
I'm ready. While you're bringing up the list there, this is also just a great way to remind people to support your local knitting store, especially in this time of need. Support local business. So that's kind of why we're unveiling this now. We've had this in the works for a while, but we want to remind people about these small stores that are out there. And if one of these stores is in your community, then definitely reach out to them and see how they're selling and what they can do. I know a lot of places are doing curbside pickup and online locations, so this is a great way to support them.
And that's actually another note we want to encourage. So again, if you're a store that you like, or if you're a store that thinks you have a great name, we're going to share this on social media. Make sure you tag your store that you like or a store name that you think is great in it as well. We'd love to hear about new stores or stores that obviously we were involved in. It's a great chance to kind of share some different businesses, and especially in these times, we want to really make sure we take care of small business and help support small business. That's what we're here for. We're just making sure that people that love their passion of knitting can do that, and that's supporting local stores. So Chad, you hit the needle head on that one. No
yeah,
pun
absolutely.
intended there.
Comment if we missed one, or there's a store that you love to go to and it has a really creative name. Tag the store in this social media post, and we'd love to feedback on all the awesome store names.
Well, without further ado, Chad, we're going to start with so I'm going to share our screen here, and we're going to start with number 10. I'm hoping you can see everything now, right?
Just came up. Yeah, we're good.
All right, number 10, our first on the list, and I've actually talked to these ladies on the phone. They are full of it, and really a neat. It's a partnership group actually of this one, so it's kind of like a cooperative. So it's really cool setup of a store. But 6 loose ladies Yarn and Fiber, and they're in Chester, Vermont. They were actually higher on my personal list, FYI. So Chad, I'll give you number 9.
Okay, so number 9 is That Darn Yarn Shop and Fiber Mill, a Canadian business. By the way, there's lots of Canadian businesses and American. It's pretty much split 50-50 here across North America.
We didn't mean there was we weren't treating any borderlines at all during this process.
The voters did not know where these stores are located. They simply just got the names. And this one is number 9 is from Kamloops, BC.
Very cool name. That was a good one. Number 8 is the Naughty House in Calgary, Alberta. Just a neat name. just a really cool name.
A lot of play on words here. That's
a ton of play on words. Yeah, you could take that in many different directions. The Naughty House. But a cool name nonetheless, and super cool logo.
Number 7 is Faking Sanity in Dawson Creek, BC. This one, I mean, you could take a bunch of different ways, but Faking Sanity, I just thought was a really interesting name. It was on my list. And it made it to number 7 on the company list.
Very, very appropriate, maybe in these current times that we're living in.
And I'm sure a lot of store owners and customers are faking sanity right now as they're trying to get through this for sure.
Yep, absolutely. Number 6 is Fleeces to Pieces in Camden, Missouri. Fabulous name. Fleeces to Pieces is.
I think that would be a great name of like a heavy metal rock band too.
It wouldn't be heavy metal. It'd be more like punk, emo kind of.
Punk. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
some type of rock band could be Fleece, and a great name for a knitting shop.
Yeah. Very, very good. Number 5, Chad.
Number 5 is Twisted Wool. I mean, that would be another rock name. It kind of reminded me of like Twisted Sister and Moretta, New York too. So not too far from us.
Yeah, and actually, we're getting in a section here, I think, where a lot of it's the play on the wool words are coming up, some movie references and stuff. So, I think this was the first one kind of where we got into the wool references. I like that one. Number 4 is, as I said, Raging Wool. I think this was my number 1. I'd have to go back to my list, but in Pembroke Pines, Florida. Great reference. Also super cool logo as well. If you take a little of the detail, we were trying to get all the logos in here, but some we couldn't find over the internet. But the Raging Wool one is just a great reference and play on words and a cool logo as well.
Great movie too.
Yeah.
Well, Raging Wool.
Yes, Raging Wool. Raging Wool was not a movie.
Another great movie. One of the all-time greats is Dances with Wolves. But this store, number 3, went Dances with Wool. I can't pronounce this town name though. Middleton. I would go Midlothian, Virginia. Midlothian, Virginia.
Anyway. Yeah, I apologize to Midlothian residents, or what do you call it?
Middleton.
No, there's zero chances.
No.
Yeah, I could be wrong, and I could have Virginia coming after us here, but
if you live in the area, go visit Dances with Wool.
Yeah, exactly. Why wouldn't
either way?
Yeah. No, that's a super cool name. Number 2, Sheep Thrills, and that is in Lauderhill, Florida. Just a fantastic name again. I think it was fairly. This name was like probably on a top 3 of everyone.
I love their slogan too. Is where knitters unwind. Yeah. Just actually, another
in general though too, with advertising and stuff, that's something we've noticed across the industry, right? Like it's like they love puns, play on words, they love to like and have fun. And I think that's actually one thing that I've really just enjoyed kind of getting involved in this industry, is understanding that passion that people have and how much they love it, and how that kind of comes out in everything. Whether you're a person making things to a store owner, everybody has that kind of collective passion. And it's infectious, actually. Probably not a great word to use
for sure.
Currently, but but it is actually. It's from our perspective, we really kind of get a lot of energy from talking with stores and talking with customers. And so, again, this is another great name as an example of that. So,
and one thing, a quick story before we get to number 1. When I was setting up the Ravelry account for Kollage Needles, which we're now on Ravelry. One of the questions they ask you is what your favorite swear word was, which I thought was weird and interesting, but when I thought about it more, it's like, yeah, this makes sense. It's an industry that doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's supposed to be fun, and it's supposed to be creative and interesting. So
Yeah, no, I think we
there's all
actually
kinds
too
of,
like it's like actually a good education of where we need to be at right now. It's like it's okay,
yeah,
like we need to be laugh, need to have fun, need to be kind of silly with everything that we do. I think that's a key thing for everybody
for sure.
going through this. So that's a very good point.
I'm gonna
We also
lock
did
a
a great
drum roll
job,
there.
Chad, setting people up and giving them like what is number one. We've taken a little time,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. I do.
So I'll give it to you, Chad. A little bit of a fake drum roll.
Drum roll.
Here.
Okay, number one.
Our number one is
Cobourg, Ontario. It's Yarnet. Yarnet. We talked about that swearing one. Yarnet. Their slogan is "Shop, Gather, Create" in Cobourg, Ontario. It was resounding the number one for our group. It wasn't our personal number ones, but it was definitely in my top 5 for sure.
Yeah, and actually, it's probably we had some consistent ones through it. But again, you could see from all those names, like fabulous names, great energy, and I think it says a lot about those businesses. Again, like some of the things you talked about, Chad, is like obviously what I feel when I see those store names is like, again, it's kind of, they have a passion for it. They're in it. They love it. They're doing it for all the right reasons. That's what I get a feeling out of seeing all those store names. So kudos to all those stores. Obviously, there was many other ones that we had, and I think maybe a couple honorable mentions. And Chad, I want to speak on because I know they had potentially.
I got a couple as well.
They had closed last year. They would have been my number one, but Nitzberg.
Yeah, I love that one.
Love it. Like the Nitzberg one, I think Nitzberg actually, I think they closed last year, but maybe reinvented themselves. So if you were a former Nitzberg, we love that name. But again, we want to just thank all of our great customers. That's probably one of the biggest things that we've loved in this is getting relationships with all of these different stores. We've prided ourselves on just being only selling to wholesalers or our stores because we want those relationships people have with their local stores. Please support those local stores during these times. This is where small business in general needs us to support more and more. So we can't encourage you guys enough to support your local yarn shops. But again, feel free because again, we didn't have all the names out there of all these great stores. We would love you to tag that in these posts. And we're going to share this on various social media, our Facebook page. Make sure you follow us, Kollage Square Needles. Pinterest we're on as well. Rivalry. Am I missing? Oh, and we're on Instagram as well. So look for Kollage Needles on those platforms. We'd love to hear from you. Chad, anything else you want to kind of add before?
No, that's perfect. Yeah, just support your local stores, like you said. Tag Kollage Needles if you're working on anything over this time and you have some of your projects you want to show us on Instagram or Facebook or wherever, tag us in it so we can see all the stuff you're working on with your Kollage Needles.
And lastly, too, this is our first kind of foray into doing videos and stuff. If you'd love to kind of see more from us or hear more about our product, we've actually talked about giving people a little bit of a tour behind the scenes of Kollage and actually getting into a little bit more of the story of what Kollage Needles is. The agency we're behind actually helps every sale of a Kollage needle helps support people with disabilities and employment. It's a super cool program and service that we are involved in, and I think that's something that our users and customers would love to hear about. So if you want to actually hear more content from us video wise, feel free to kind of give us suggestions or on content because I think you're going to want to hear more from us. And if you kind of say, guys, you are horrible, we don't want to see you anymore, tell us that as well.
That's fine too.
Yeah, we can handle it. We have broad shoulders.
Yeah, thick skin.
Yeah. So again, on behalf of all the stores, I want to thank all these great store names. Our top 10 list was awesome to put together. Tag your stores in it and look for Chad and I in future posts.
Thanks, everyone.